Heyo. So, French Restoration. Louis XVIII was restored to the throne in 1814, and he accepted some of the changes from the Napoleonic era. He accepted the Napoleonic Civil Code, which meant that everyone, all citizens, were equal under code of law. He accepted a bicameral legislature, which meant that he didn't have all the power. And he accepted property rights, which meant that the property bought during the Revolution, which was confiscated originally from, say, churches and noblemen, could be kept by the people who bought it. Okay, so Louis's moderation caused problems on two fronts. There were the pro-revolutionary liberals, who opposed him because he was a monarch and he was taking power, and they didn't like that. And, debatably more importantly, he was opposed by the ultra-royalists. These guys are important. The ultra-royalists were, as the name says, ultra-royal. They didn't want Louis to compromise, and they didn't want to retain the Napoleonic laws. The royalists wanted noble rule, and they wanted the Catholic Church to regain its old power. So after Louis XVIII died and his brother Charles X took over, the ultra-royalists won his favor and pushed him to take away property rights. So what this meant is that all that land that had been bought by random middle-classmen or whatever, that had originally been confiscated from noblemen and the church during the French Revolution, he took it back. So he also reestablished the church and pushed the church to have a massive role in education, which, again, as you can imagine, this is infuriating to any liberal. And this caused, sure enough, liberal outrage. Well, the liberal outrage forced Charles X to compromise. He had to accept some new things. One of the most important of which, in fact, the most important of which, in my opinion, was ministerial responsibility. We talked about this a little in class. Basically, if you are a government official and you suck at being a government official, you can now be held accountable to your suckiness. So, a deputy protest against Charles X when he violated his compromise. So basically he's like, yo, I'm going to hold people accountable now. And then he didn't. So his own deputies started protesting him. And seeing that things were not going his way, and remembering probably what happened to Louis XVI, Charles decided to dissolve the legislature in 1830, and he called for new elections. And France was on the eve of yet another revolution.